Hi, welcome. My name is Katherine. Welcome to Hatha Flow. Today we're going to be doing kind of a fun flow. I think it's a fun flow. Lots of hamstring lengthening, some glute work. You might need a block or two. You might need a blanket. The block you might need if you do have tight hamstrings, you need longer arms. To begin, let's come to stand at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Standing with the arms alongside the body. And just take a moment, shifting the weight of your body from one foot to the other. And then finding a nice balance between both feet. And then shifting the weight forward towards the toes. And then back towards the heels. Finding now not only a nice equal weight distribution between the feet, but also between the toes and the heels. Soften the bend of your knees and move your thigh bones back in space a little bit as you draw your tummy in and vertically lift your heart away from your navel. Keep all that as you lift your toes, spread them, and then place them down on the mat, almost as if you're trying to really press those toes, like you're going to put a dent in the floor with your toes and your feet. Soften your shoulders away from your ears, soften your hands. And see if you can let your neck and the tops of your shoulders relax while keeping your chest broad. And lifting the base of your skull towards the sky. You can keep your eyes open or close them. We'll take a couple breaths here. And welcoming yourself to your practice. Welcoming your whole self. And then beginning with a few half sun salutations. With an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. With an exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, fingertips touch the floor or a block. Gaze at the knees. On the inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, heart reaches away from navel. Exhale, fold back down again. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half forward fold, broad chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. And then at the top here, keep your arms overhead. You're going to grab your left wrist with your right hand, rotate your palm towards the sky, and see if you can lift that left arm vertically a little bit higher towards the sky, stretching out the inseam of the left arm. Tummy's in. Let's take a side bend to the right. We'll be here for 3 rounds of breath. Weight equal in both feet. With your next inhale, come back through center. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Rotate the right palm towards the sky, lifting, lengthening the right arm towards the sky. Stretching the inseam of that right arm. With the tummy in, side bend to the left. Equal weight in both feet as we breathe here. About 2 more rounds of breath. The next inhale brings you back up. Exhale, arms alongside the body. Bend your knees, fingertips to the floor, knees bent. Float your rear back in space, a little bit more weight towards the heels. We're going to come into chair pose on an inhale. Come on up. On the exhale, fold back down. Keep your left fingertips on the floor or a block. You're going to bend your left knee as you reach your right arm towards the sky. We're going to stretch out the outer right hip. Maybe you'll feel this maybe in the IT band area. Left knee bent, right knee straight. And you're turning towards the right. Let's take one more round of breath here. Exhale, right fingertips to the floor. Bend those knees, come back into chair pose with an inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Now you're going to bend your right knee, straighten the left. Same thing, second side, rotating the heart to the left as the left arm reaches up. Keep some weight in that left foot. On the exhale, left fingertips towards the floor. Step your left foot back behind you. Coming into a lunge. The right knee is bent. You're going to wiggle that left foot back till the heel's off the floor. Right knee's bent over that heel. And then we're going to flow here from this lunge position into Parshva Tanasana variation. Some of you might need a block under either hand. So with an exhale, straightening the right leg any amount. Inhale, bending the knee. Keep moving with the breath, exhaling, lengthening the back of the right leg. Inhaling, bending that front knee. Twice more. Once you come back into your lunge, left hand stays on the mat or a block. Walk it over towards the edge of the mat. Right arm reaches to the sky, Revolved Lunge. Rolling your right wrist. One more inhale here. Exhale, right hand to the mat, step back. Downward dog. Sweep your right leg back and up behind you. So three-legged downward dog. Bend your right knee, swing the hips open, lifting the right hip a little higher than the left. You're stacking those hips. And then with an exhale, right foot back to the floor, regular downward dog. One round of breath here. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. You're welcome to be on hands and knees if you need to. If you're in plank, please have your shoulders over your wrists. Lifting the back of the skull towards the sky as you press your limbs into the floor. With your next exhale, find your way onto your belly. Arms alongside the body. We're going to do 2 Locust Pose. So on an inhale, lifting arms and legs, moving the heads of the shoulders away from the mat, broad chest. Exhale, return to the mat, bring your left cheek to the mat. On the next inhale, back to Locust Pose, gazing at the top edge of the mat. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Inhale, lift your head and your shoulders only. Hands underneath your shoulders, and we'll move back to downward dog with your exhale. Take a round of breath. On an exhale, step your right foot forward. Land your back heel. So now if you look at your feet on the mat, you're going to bend your right knee, and your legs are basically in warrior one configuration. Right, so warrior two would be where our feet are on a tightrope. Here we're just, our feet are in like on train tracks here. Right knee bent over, right heel. Take a round of breath. And now keep the front knee bent as you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head's the last thing to come up. Legs still in that warrior one configuration. Interlace your fingers behind you. Straighten your front knees. Now both legs are straight. Draw the shoulder blades together behind you as maybe you straighten the elbows coming into a bind. Tummies in as you lift your heart away from your navel, maybe gazing towards the sky. So throat is open, but the back of the neck is still long. One more round of breath. Good. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Step your left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Take a round of breath. With an inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back behind you, coming into a lunge, back heels up. Nice and long in your stance, preparing for that lunge Parshva Tanasana flow. On an exhale, straightening the front leg any amount, feel the stretch. On the inhale, bend the knee. Good, keep moving with your breath. Couple more times here. Next time you come into the lunge, let's move it to the Revolved Lunge. Right hand to the right edge of the mat, in line with the front foot. Maybe that hand's on a block. As you reach opposite arm towards the sky, the heart is rotating towards your bent knee. And you can roll that left wrist. One more inhale here. Exhale, downward dog. Sweep your left leg back and up, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, open up the hips, left hip over right. Equal weight in both hands as you stay here for one more round of breath. And then the exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale forward to hands and knees or plank pose. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. The next exhale, find yourself on the floor. Come on down. Arms alongside the body. Let's do those 2 locusts in a row. On an inhale, lift arms and legs. Exhale, left cheek to the mat. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Inhale, hands to the floor. Exhale, downward dog. Round of breath here. With an exhale, step your left foot forward, coming into a warrior one leg position only right now. So you're going to hop the back foot forward until you can land the heel, the back toes, kind of a 45-degree line here. Front toes pointing forward. We'll pause here for a moment. Left knee bent over the left heel. So I feel like this is a really nice way to stretch out the hamstring. Now keep the legs just as they are. Your head is heavy and you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Arms can just kind of hang. Interlace the fingers behind you. Please grab a strap if you need one. Peel the heart open. Shoulder blades move together behind you. Tummies in as you straighten the front leg. Now both legs are straight as you lift your heart away from your belly button. Lifting and broadening the collarbones, maybe straightening those arms. We're moving the heads of the shoulders away from the front of our mat. The whole reason why we're doing this bind. On the next exhale, release. Both hands back to the mat. Step forward, forward fold. Let's do a half forward fold on the inhale. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Next inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Take a round of breath. Good. Shift the weight of your body into your right foot. Bring your gaze to focus on something in front of you, your drishti. You want it to be eye level. And then exhale, drawing left knee into the chest. You're going to hug it in towards the chest, pressing your right foot into the floor, lifting up out of those hips. Now, if you can't grab that leg, no problem. Maybe just kind of do what you can, right? Maybe the toe stays dropping down. That's totally cool. And then you're going to keep the shin in your left hand and slowly open up the knee to the left. So it's not quite tree pose. It's actually a prep for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, if you must know. And then exhale, release the left foot to the floor. Take a moment and just notice the weight of your body on both feet, both legs. And we'll do the second side. Shifting weight to left foot. With an exhale, catch the right shin, pulling the knee into the chest. Lift your heart vertically. You're going to keep holding that right shin and open the knee out to the right. Press down through that standing leg, tummies in, heart lifted. With an exhale, release, right foot to the floor, mountain pose, noticing right and left, left and right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. We're preparing for a chair pose. So the feet are parallel. Some folks like the toes, the big toes together, heels slightly apart. Some folks like the feet a little wider, but just make sure those toes are pointing forward. Rear floating back in space. You want to keep seeing your toes as we come up into chair. Inhale. And then revolve chair. Exhale, palms together. We're turning to the right. You can bring your left elbow to the between the thighs here, kind of hooking it to the inner thigh. Some of you might bring it to the outer thigh. We'll take one more round of breath here. With an exhale, both hands to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. Your legs will once again come into the warrior one configuration legs here. You're gonna bend the right knee. Again, our feet are not on a tight wire, not on like a tight rope, right? They're on train tracks. So back foot's on the left train track, front foot's on the right train track. And then from here, come on back up, warrior one. Eagle arms with this warrior now. You're going to bring your left arm underneath your right, backs of the hands together or palms together. Moving the shoulders away from each other, east and west. As you squeeze those elbows, can you soften the tops of your shoulders as you do this? You can have the elbows in line with the shoulders best you can. Exhale, release those arms. Inhale, reach up. Palms facing each other. Stay here for an exhale. Stay here for an inhale. Now, with your exhale, you may want to bring your left hand to a block here. We're going to be doing something a little tricky, eventually moving into revolved triangle pose. So please get your blocks if you need it. Exhale, left hand to a block or the floor. Keep your front knee bent though. We're not at revolved triangle yet. Right hand to right hip. So it's almost like you're in a revolved lunge, but it's a revolved warrior two rather, or warrior one rather. You can reach that right arm up towards the sky too. That's also an option. Please keep that front knee bent over the front heel. And then from here, slowly start to straighten your front leg any amount. Here's the revolved triangle pose. Reaching your top hip as far from the top of the mat as you can, right? So the tendency will be maybe that top hip, that's your right one, is going to kind of creep towards the ear, creep towards the front of the mat. Try to reach it away from the top of the mat. Last breath. Very good. Both hands to the mat. Step back, downward dog. 2 rounds of breath here. With the next inhale, come through plank pose. Exhale, make your way to the mat on your belly. Prepare for 2 locust pose. With the inhale, locust 1. Using the muscles of the back to broaden the chest. With the exhale, left cheek to the mat. Relax. With an inhale, lifting arms and legs, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Relax. Inhale, hands under shoulders, and exhale, let's come on back to downward dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg back and up. Exhale, step your left foot forward, coming into warrior one configuration with the leg. So the left knee is bent over the left heel. Come on up to warrior one, eagle arms, right arm underneath left, backs of the hands together or palms, squeezing shoulders together, squeezing elbows together, moving the shoulders away from each other. So you're really grounded in that back heel. Low belly's pulling in. Can you release any tension in the tops of the shoulders, the neck here, as you lift the skull and the heart vertically. With an exhale, release the arms down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Rounded breath here. Next exhale, come on back, fingertips to the floor. Maybe that right hand comes to that block. Maybe it stays on the floor, and we'll do our revolved warrior one. Left arm towards the sky, maybe left hand to hip. Please keep your front knee bent over the heel. So the tendency might be like that the hip will try to float forward. Maybe the knee bends more than it needs to. Please keep a long left side of the waist. One more round of breath. And then start to straighten the left leg. Revolve triangle pose. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, prepare for chair pose. Inhale. Moving into a revolved chair on the exhale. Exhale, right elbow to inner thigh, or maybe right elbow to outer left thigh. Keep the hips moving back in space. One more breath here. The next exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Take a round of breath. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back behind you. Left foot back behind you, downward dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. With an exhale, come to the mat. 2 locust poses. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left cheek to the mat, relax. Inhale, lift, straight legs, engaged glutes. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhale, dog. On your next exhale, step your right foot forward. Left foot forward, forward fold. When the inhale arrives, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach out and up, stand up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Bring your gaze to rest on something eye level in front of you. Softening the eyes to receive what it is that you're taking in. Once again, shift the weight forward, backwards, on the feet. Find a middle ground, shifting it to the left, to the right foot. Find the middle ground. Lift the toes and spread them. Release them to the mat. Softening the bend of your knees a little bit, moving the thigh bones back in space as you keep the low belly in and lift your heart away from your navel to get you standing up tall again. On an exhale, relax the tops of your shoulders, lengthen the neck. When your inhale arrives, lift your heart and the base of your skull towards the sky. Just like this, one more round of breath. Shift the weight of your body to your left foot. Exhale, bending right knee, grab a hold of the right shin, pulling it in. Open the right knee out. So once again, we're doing this Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose prep. Pressing down into the floor with your left leg. Now, some of you might stay here with the prep. Some of you might want to grab your big toe with your peace fingers and extending the leg towards the sky. You bring the left hand into half Anjali Mudra, half prayer. Just watching your mind, whatever you're doing. How are you breathing? What kind of thoughts are arising? And then release. Mountain pose, arms alongside the body. Just notice any difference between right and left, left and right, noticing the breath. I invite you just to rest in the place of the observer as we go through the second side. Weight shifts into the right foot. Exhale, catch left shin. Inhale, open left knee. You're pressing down through your standing foot. Sometimes there's a tendency to kind of collapse. You might stay here. You might grab that big toe, extending the left leg long, maybe right hand to half prayer here. And resting the eyes on whatever it is that you're looking at. Feeling the breath move. Totally cool to wobble, totally cool to lose your balance. All right, it's all good. When your next exhale comes, you'll release the foot to the floor, arms alongside the body. Notice your breath, body, and mind. Right? What fun would it be if we didn't do stuff that was hard sometimes, huh? Or maybe that was easy for you. With an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. You're going to grab your left wrist with your right hand. Take a side bend to your right. 3 rounds of breath here. Equal weight in both feet. Inhale brings you back up. Let's do the second side. Side bending to your left. When the next inhale arrives, come on back up. Exhale, arms alongside the body. Take a look at your feet. Walk your heels so that they're like hips width distance apart for starts. We're going to move into a squat. So turn the toes out slightly, bend those knees. You're swinging those knees open. Maybe your heels are on the floor. Maybe they're off the floor. Palms together in front of your heart as you wedge your elbows into the inner knees to help guide the inner thighs into a stretch. Keep lifting your heart. Please feel free to stay here, or maybe you'd like to join me in a variation of a twist here. Right hand to the floor, left arm reaches towards the sky. So my right arm, I hope you can see this. I'm using my right arm here as kind of like a wall to help open that inner right thigh. Sometimes as we twist, that leg we're twisting away from kind of wants to go in the direction of the twist too. Good, let's do the second side. Left hand to the floor and just directly in front of that left foot. Right arm reaches towards the sky. Breathing some length into that right side body. Good, exhale. Come into downward dog. Walk those feet back. Let's stretch out the backs of the legs. Some folks like stillness. If you like to pedal your feet here, please do. 2 more rounds of breath in this downward dog. Lifting the hip creases towards the sky. On your next exhale, come into Pigeon Pose, right knee forward, sliding that right knee forward. And to deepen in this Pigeon Pose, you're going to slide your back leg further from the top of the mat. Please park your front knee just behind your right wrist. And again, the way that you go deep, not by swinging the knee open hard, you just simply slide the back leg away from the top edge of the mat. You can find plenty of such sensation there. If the right hip is hovering off the mat, totally cool. Maybe you slide something underneath the right hip if that's bothering you. You can come on down to your elbows. Please come onto your back and do thread the needle if this is problematic for your knees. So as we breathe into this pigeon pose, just check that your hips are level. Good, and then we're going to do the thing that I'm asking you not to do in pigeon pose as we transition to the next pose, right? That would be just leaning onto that right hip. It's not the worst, but you just kind of get out of a deep, like a better stretch by keeping your hips level. Ardha Matsyendrasana. So back leg swings forward, bring that left foot to the outside of the front knee, front thigh. Hug your shin to get tall, nice and tall here. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, come into the twist, maybe hugging that front knee with the right arm. Maybe bending elbow, moving it to the outside. Finding your optimal Ardha Matsyendrasana for this moment. Head turning to the left. With the next inhale, come on out of it. Little counter twist. Untangle the legs back to downward dog you go. Inhale here. Exhale, left knee forward, park it behind that left wrist. Walking the left foot in towards center line of the body. And if it's like you need more sensation, slide that back leg away from the top of the mat. Resting the elbows down. Maybe you were on a block or something, a pillow. Leveling out your hips. Again, we don't want that left hip parked on the floor. Unless you're super open in your hips, maybe your left hip will be parked on the floor. Idea is that those hips are level. A few more rounds of breath here. Good, transitioning to Ardha Matsyendrasana here. If you want to just lean onto that left hip, swing right leg forward. Hugging shin, get nice and tall. Keep all this length. Right arm up towards the sky as you inhale. Exhale, come into that twist. Fingertips behind you, maybe hugging the front knee or using that elbow as a lever on the outside of that front knee. And you're doing your best to lift your heart vertically away from your belly button while you simultaneously lift the base of your skull away from your heart. And now that the spine is in its full length, you take a refreshing twist. Twisting the belly, twisting the heart, twisting the neck. Stay here for an exhale. The inhale, slowly inflate out of it. Take a little counter twist. And then coming into a little bit of boat pose, knees together, feet together. Options. You squeeze those knees, reach the arms forward. Certainly, this could be some good work for some folks. Maybe just trying to keep the thighs together, the feet together, and an open heart here. Yeah. Maybe you bring the heels off the floor. Maybe the shins are parallel to the ceiling. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath. And exhale, feet together. Cobbler's pose. Sit nice and tall. Guide the knees together, roll onto your back. Happy baby pose, maybe holding the outside edges of the feet, or perhaps you hold the ankles. So you could just reach between holding those ankles, no problem. Releasing the spine into the floor. Releasing the sacrum and the back of the pelvis basically into the mat. Let your belly soften here. Good, and then release the feet down. Just coming into a little bridge before we finish off with some relaxation pose. So arms alongside the body, knees are bent. Inhale, lift those hips. Drawing the shoulder blades together underneath you. Please keep your gaze on the ceiling as you come into this bridge. You might want to interlace your fingers underneath you for this. I kind of like to hold on to the edges of my mat and try to pull the mat apart. Really find it helps open up my chest. Keep those thighs parallel. 1 more round of breath. And then release. Bring your hands to your belly. Thighs together, walk your feet apart, constructive rest pose. Take a big belly inhale into your hands. Exhale out the mouth. Let's do that once more. Expand your belly with an inhale. Out the mouth. Good. And we'll be in relaxation pose for about 3 minutes. Please take a meditation posture if that's a better fit for you. If you're coming into relaxation pose, go ahead and straighten out those legs. Let the feet flop apart. If you rest the back of your hand on the floor, it can help guide the upper arms into spiraling externally, and then that would help flatten those shoulder blades onto the back so you get a little bit more of a chest opener here. Those of you in relaxation pose, wiggle your face, just working all the muscles for a moment, just so you know which muscles are working and which ones aren't, and then making a choice, letting those muscles soften, relax. Give yourself complete permission to surrender to the floor. Savasana. Deepen your breath. Moving your fingers and toes. And if you're in relaxation pose, take a big morning stretch. And in fact, those of you in meditation, you could take a big morning stretch as well. Maybe yawning. And then eventually pulling the knees into the chest, rolling to one side, and we all come up to a comfortable seat of our choice, palms together in front of our heart. Please take your time. Once you've arrived, just noticing how you're doing, watching the mind, breath, and body, continuing to be that observer. And if you're experiencing any pleasant feelings, I encourage you to give yourself absolute permission to enjoy what feels good right now. Take a round or two of breath just to enjoy what feels nice. And then I'd like you to think of someone in your life, maybe someone who could have could use some pleasurable feelings in their lives, some feelings of strength or openness, whatever the quality of pleasure that you're experiencing right now is. Pick one person or animal, see them clearly. Imagine where they are in their day. And then we're going to send out the benefits of our practice to this special being on an exhale. So big breath in to gather it up. Send it out. See them feeling good and enjoying these good feelings. Thanks for practicing today. Namaste.